My sisters and brothers, every fourth Sunday of Easter is called Good Shepherd Sunday because that's the scripture theme that runs through our Mass on that day. It always reminds me of the town of Casterton. You may not know, but Casterton is the place where the Kelpie dog was first brought to birth. And the Kelpie dog has had such an important role to play in Australia's management of sheep. Some of the great images of Kelpies are running over the backs of sheep in pens and keeping them all organised and doing what the people want to herd them and have them shorn and so on. The difficulty about all that is the fact that it's actually the opposite of the image that Jesus uses when he calls himself the Good Shepherd. Because what he was referring to was a small group of sheep that had one shepherd who knew them all by name and was very close to them, lived with them, slept with them, and defended them against wolves and other attackers. So when Jesus talks about being the Good Shepherd, he's not talking about being the shepherd of us as a group of a huge number of sheep spread out over a vast panorama of the plains, but rather as someone who's associated with us in an intimate and personal way. So when he says he's the Good Shepherd and he knows us, he really means it. It's true. And he knows everything about our lives, and he comes to support us in our daily life, so that through his grace and his love, we're able to be his best disciples as we live in the world today. So there is a big responsibility for us, first of all, to acknowledge that Jesus is so close to us and loves us so much, and to acknowledge the fact that that gives us a freedom and a power then to act in his name and to carry on the shepherding that he exercises over us in the lives of the people who are part of our lives. This week, of course, we've seen a very good example of being shepherded by somebody, and that's our Pope Francis. At the beginning of the week, he issued a document to us, an exhortation about family and married life, which is really beautiful and contains a lot for us to reflect upon and to learn from. So in the Archdiocese of Adelaide, over the next few months, there'll be quite a number of opportunities given to the clergy and the faithful of the diocese to come together to reflect on that and to learn from Pope Francis, so that we might be converted to the vision of life that he talks about and be empowered then to live out the level of love that he thinks should be an important part of our lives. The second shepherding we saw was the image of Pope Francis himself going to the island of Lesbos and being associated with all the refugees who were there. Really dramatic and wonderful images. One would never have imagined 50 years ago that the Pope of Rome would have gone to an island in Greece to be welcomed by the Greek government and then to be accompanied by the Patriarch of Constantinople and the Archbishop of Greece in the Greek Orthodox Church, to be accompanied by them as they visited a camp that was full almost entirely of refugees of the Islamic background. Yet there they were, and there was our Pope engaging with people, caring for them, listening to them, giving them the opportunity to pour out to him the terrible experiences of their lives. So not only does the Pope teach us by what he says, and that's powerful in itself, but he also teaches us all by his example. Like him, we have to do all that we can to be good shepherds of the people who need our help most as we live in the world today. His going to the island of Lesbos was his own idea. It turned out to be a masterstroke and a really wonderful opportunity for him to show to the world the true nature of our church and our faith.